Hello, welcome everybody. Just going to raise this up a little bit. Excellent. So, my name's Mark. I think I've met most people here before, and what I'm going to do is just briefly talk about 602 and exactly what needs to be handed in. I know that obviously people have talked about this before, and I'm hoping that what I'm going to say doesn't come as any kind of shock. But I'm just kind of doing the rounds and just making sure that everyone's happy and they know exactly what to hand in. So, obviously the website element is a really good thing for you to hand in. So put your hands up if you created a website for this assignment. Brilliant, well done. That is a great thing to hand in, okay? When you submit this work, what you do is you submit it through the Canvas ePortfolio system. And I believe that you've already had a lesson on the ePortfolio Canvas, maybe not? That's
not how to submit, that's today.
Oh, that's today, sorry, okay. So the session that you're going to have today will be on how you actually submit work to Canvas. It's really, really simple. Instead of uploading it to the assignments section that you normally upload work to, you just upload it to the ePortfolio section, so really, really easy. The website, as I said, is a really good thing to do, so well done if you've done that. It could be that you choose a slightly different approach and you just upload work directly to the Canvas ePortfolio, and that option is also okay. Okay, so it's your choice how you approach this. How many people here are not going to do a website and they're just instead going to upload directly to Canvas? Okay, and that is also fine. When you upload work into the Canvas ePortfolio, which will be covered by Luke today, it's important that you take screenshots of your individual web pages and upload that into Canvas. The reason you have to do that is because it shows us that you haven't edited that website later on. Okay, so it's really, really simple. On a Mac, it's just Command Apple 4, drag, and then you can take a screenshot of that section, then you just upload that into Canvas. Really, really simple, okay? So as I said, the website is a great idea. You don't have to do it, it's your choice. You can also get a good grade without doing a website, but the website is a good thing to do, so great if you've done it. Any questions about that? Hopefully that's quite clear. Okay, that's really fine. In terms of the written elements, there's also a 1,000-word written write-up which explains why you've included that certain item, and you need to review the presentation and the items that you've submitted in relation to employment opportunities within your chosen career. Okay, and it's 1,000 words. And what a few people said is, does the word count in your website and ePortfolio count towards 1,000 words? It doesn't. It's just separate 1,000 words for that written component. Okay. So has everyone seen the brief? Hopefully you have up on Canvas. So with the written element, it clearly explains what you need to submit, and I'll just quickly go through that now. I'll just scroll down. So it says submit 1,000 words plus minus 5%. Now, the 5% threshold is slightly different to other universities which have 10, and it is important that you do a word count and you work out what 5% always is, and you don't go over that, because the further you go outside of that 5% threshold, the more you start progressively losing grades. So watch out for that. If you use, which obviously you will, if you use items that you submitted previously, you just need to identify in this report where that work came from, okay, and the skills that you learned producing that piece of work, which is all written in the brief. Another thing it says in the brief is you need to do SWOT analysis. So put your hands up if you know what SWOT analysis is. Most people, okay, excellent. So do make sure that you talk about that. When we sent this to Richard, our EE, our person who checks all of these briefs, he said that one thing that we need to make sure that we do is that we have academic rigour by including quotations, okay? So do search for articles online, books, We have provided a reading list which has now been uploaded to Canvas with examples of resources that you can look at, so please look at that and include some quotations in the written element, just so, because it's level 6 it has to have academic rigour to it, so hopefully that's not come as a surprise. And so that is effectively it. So any questions? Is that clear? Yeah, over there.
The quotes, what would you quote about? And who just write and why you chose that colour? Like, would you quote?
Yeah, sure, definitely. So what I would do is look at the chosen career field and look at the skills required within that chosen career field. Another thing is like online branding, because you're promoting yourself as an artist. There's some really interesting books in there on promotion through social media. It could be how you write a CV, it could be how you present yourself through a biog, how to create kind of web content that is suitable for kind of you to be put forward as an artist. And all of the books that we've put on the reading list, it should be quite clear how they link in. I think there's something like 10 books on that list. So have a look at that, and it should make sense. Yeah.
And just that, with the 1,000-word commentary, do you have to be divided up about the CV and the website and the bio? Because they're all separate things.
Yeah, they are. So how you allocate words towards each section is up to you, depending on how important you think that element is within your portfolio. But overall, it's 1,000 words that you can decide how it's phrased. Yes.
Yeah. So obviously you always got like obviously 1,000 words.
Yeah.
When we're talking about a website, can we like bring like screenshots onto that or?
Onto the written report? Yeah, absolutely. I don't see why not. I think any images like that would be good in an appendix at the end, and then you just reference the appendix. Yeah.
Would it be worth mentioning any of the websites that you kind of saw what they were doing?
Absolutely, definitely. Yeah. If you think that's relevant, and if you think you learn really valuable information that you've taken ideas from, then yeah, definitely reference that. Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely, yeah, definitely. That is the main idea of the written element. Yeah, that's a perfect approach. Yeah.
Are there any past examples? Has this been done before? So you can see someone else do it.
So this is the first time that we've run this module. So I'm afraid we can't provide that because you're the first year. Yeah.
Whereabouts on Canvas is the portfolio template?
Okay, so that's today's class, and hopefully by the end of this session that will be completely clear. So I'll in a minute hand over to Lee. Yeah.
In terms of like colour schemes and stuff like that, how do you justify it if it was more just like my decision to make it that scheme? Is that enough justification?
Yeah, I mean, you wouldn't necessarily need to go into a lot of detail about like colour theory in your write-up. If you feel that that's very important, then by all means include it. But you may choose not to actually include the kind of colour theory element in the write-up if it wasn't a key thing that you intentionally did. Excellent. Okay, so I'll now pass you over to Amy, who will talk about reverberation, which is something that you may also wish to include in this piece of work. You don't have to, but it's a really great thing to include if you choose to do that. So now I'll pass you over to Amy. Thank you.